Good morning, class. To start our class for today, I would like to introduce myself first. I'm teacher Apple M. Agocoy, Bsed English 2A. Now, may I ask Lara to lead the prayer, please? Alright, in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Before you go back to your respective chairs, can you please pick up some pieces of paper under your chairs and arrange your chairs properly? Very good. Now you may now take your seat. Let's check your attendance first. May I know who is absent today? Alright, no one is absent. Class, as we go on to our formal and very interesting discussion, I want you to remember that we have some requirements that you should be followed. Alright, are we clear our class agreement? Very good. Now, before we start to our new lesson, let's have a review regarding our previous lessons about communication. Now, can you share with me your thoughts of what communication means to you, class? Very good, Lara. Thank you so much for your participation. Yes, communication is a process that involves sending and receiving messages through the nonverbal and verbal communication. Because communication is a two-way means of communicating information in the form of thoughts, opinions, and ideas between two or more people. Now, class, before we move to the next topic, let's have an activity. I will group you into 4 to start with. I have here some pictures. I want you to differentiate the pictures. Each pictures convey different meanings. Just choose your representative to type your answer in the comment section. Are we clear, class? Okay, let's start. And here's our pictures that you need to interpret. If the group who got the perfect interpretation about the pictures will be our winner and get their prize later. I will give you 5 minutes to answer. Time's up. Alright, very good. Group 2, you got a perfect score. Since you already have an idea about our activity, I will ask you, class, what is our lesson for today? Exactly, our new lesson for today is all about verbal and non-verbal communication. Now, we have here a verbal and non-verbal communications. From the students' different viewpoints, as a teacher, I will explain the what are the differentiate of verbal and non-verbal communications because when communicating to someone, everything you see and do means something. Oftentimes, misunderstanding occurs when a message perceived is different from the intended message. So, to prevent such, we will talk about verbal and non-verbal cues. So let's differentiate verbal from nonverbal communication. So when we say verbal communication means sharing things by means of words, whether spoken or written. And also when we say nonverbal communication, it is communicating without a word. So now, since we're already differentiating the verbal and nonverbal communication, let us know the different types of nonverbal communications. First, we have here the facial expressions. Facial expressions is the principal source of feedback. Example, happy, sleep, and so on, because it is responsible of the use of proportions of nonverbal communication, because facial expression, it shows your emotions and feelings through your facial expressions. Those are the examples of facial expression. Next, we have eye contact. Eye contact is the most expensive element in face-to-face communications because I must say that eye contact is one of a nonverbal communication. It means that you are actively listening and paying attention to the person you talk to. That is why that is the most important nonverbal communication. Next, we have body movements, postures. the way you stand and hold your body, and also send message, because it is the way we move our body that can indicate meanings, like your postures right now. They are crossing their legs, crossing their hands, and so on and so forth. Those are the examples of body movements, postures when you are a nonverbal communication person. We have gestures. So gestures is the movement that you have, that you make with a part of your body, especially your hands. So it is deliberate movements, and signals are an important way to communicate meaning without words. Because I know all of you class can use this type of nonverbal communications too. Because using gestures when you're communicating really help us to understand easily the message. Next, we have haptics. Haptics, also known as touching. Haptics known as touching because haptic is communicating through touch, because it is used to communicate affection, familiarity, sympathy, and other emotions. For example, when you have a friend heartbroken and you are comforting her through hug, pat, his shoulders and head is an example of haptics communication. Next, we have proxemics. It is refers to the amount of space that individuals naturally maintain between each other, which communicates meaning. So, it is communicating with a formal stance because of the distance or space while talking someone. For example, here in the pictures, you can see the space between of them. Like you are giving space to someone while talking. So next is voice. Voice, it is very important of nonverbal communications. Your voice should be clear and not asking voice, so that you can avoid misinterpretation and offended words. Now to test your understanding about our lesson, I want you to group into 4. Since you already understand your uh, activity, it's up to your leader how they will divide the task. As long all the members will participate, a script will be produced and a short role play will be performed. And I will give you 10 minutes to prepare before you will perform in front. Alright? Wow, absolutely class! Since you already understand our lesson for today, I will give you another activity. Are you ready, class? But before that, let's give ourselves a happy clap. Your second activity, I will call someone to complete the sentence. Alright? To make sure that the lesson is learned, I will call someone to answer and to complete the sentence. Are you ready, class? Alright, now let's start. Very good, Kyla. You're correct. Kyla is correct because everything you see and do means something when you are communicating. There are always sometimes that misunderstanding occurs when the message perceived is different from the intended message. So we should always remember that communication is always our way to express our feelings, opinions through verbal and nonverbal communication. As what I've said earlier, communication is a two-way means of communicating information in the form of thoughts, opinions, and ideas between two or individual. Now, for your assignment, write your answer in one half crosswise. Your answer would be minimum of 5 sentences with a maximum of 10 sentences. Just pass it next meeting. Are we clear, class? Alright, see you next meeting and class dismiss. Thank you so much for participating.